Nick, let's turn to another story that you've been reporting on today. Last night, you described a series of policy changes that were announced at the very end of the Trump administration. Tell us what the Biden transition team is saying to you in response.
Yeah, Judy, many administrations rush through policies at the last minute, especially when there's a especially when there's a change of party. And the administration has rushed through policies on Yemen, Cuba, Taiwan, and Iran. So far, the Biden administration had been shying away from criticizing individual policies, but that changed today. A Biden transition official in an interview told me, quote, "We will manage this, but if it does start at some point to feel like sabotage." The official singled out the designation of the Houthi group in Yemen over the objection of humanitarian groups who say that that designation will make the world's worst humanitarian disaster even worse. The Biden transition official told me, quote, "Secretary of State Pompeo is literally risking hundreds of thousands of lives. Most of Yemen is at risk of starvation so that Mike Pompeo can feed his own domestic political ambitions. This is childish and silly, and we're not going to let it box us in." In response to that, a senior administration official told me, quote, "We are designating the Houthis as terrorists for a simple reason. They're terrorists. The Houthis and no one else are responsible for the humanitarian crisis Yemen faces." But Judy, even humanitarian groups today are calling for that designation to be rescinded.
And Nick, I know there's so much to report on, but just in brief, what are the main foreign policy challenges that the Biden administration is going to face from the very beginning?
Yeah, the challenges are widespread, and the plans on day one for the Biden team in terms of foreign policy are rejoining the World Health Organization, rejoining the Paris Climate Accords, and rescinding executive orders that ban travelers from majority Muslim countries. In the first few days, the Biden team will have to figure out how to extend the New START treaty. That is the treaty that governs American and Russian strategic weapons. And in the first few weeks or months, the Biden team will kickstart diplomacy with Iran.
Nick Schifrin covering security issues in this country and abroad. A lot on your plate. Thank you, Nick.